Welcome back to the local rock star. I'm Bill. I'd like to take some time to talk about my own musical experience, my own trip from there to here, some interesting moments. I did touch on some in the trailer for this series. I don't want to talk too much about my current band. We've been playing together for off and on for 20 years. I want to do an episode with Jack and Roy, but they aren't ready to do that just yet. So my earliest music memories. Meeting with Ernie King when I was 5, maybe 6. I think he was on Circle 8 Ranch. It was a variety show on our local TV station. It meant a lot to my parents. I couldn't have cared less at that age, but it was kind of cool still looking back on it. I did help a band, just a young guy, maybe 12 or 13, I'm not sure. But the band was called Second Wind, and they had the coolest drum kit. And give them a hand to pack into the Duke. Lots and lots of gear to carry in. So I helped out, and I was kind of hoping that it was going to allow me to stay and watch the show. Unfortunately, the barmaid made it absolutely clear that that wasn't going to happen. So I had to go and kind of listen from the street. They were quite good, at least I thought so in those days. And a few years later, my oldest sister, her boyfriend had a band, just a two-piece power band, and they were practicing in my living room. It was a Wednesday night. They're practicing for a weekend gig. Two young guys, and they were just killing it. They were having a blast, and I at that point was really excited about the Mort, I think the guy's name was, that was playing the drums. A hell of a drummer. Comes from a huge musical family. Every one of those guys plays something, or in most cases, damn near everything. Really fantastic musicians. So that was cool. Here, my brother's buddy, Jed, he played the drums. I think he later on moved to guitar, but I convinced my parents that I needed that set of drums that he had. So we picked those up, and I hammered away in my room. Now, it probably, in retrospect, would have been a lot easier for me to, take lessons. And I could have learned a whole lot more from somebody who really knew what they were doing. I literally learned to play everything. I would play something that sounded like what I was hearing, and that's the best I could do. And that's been my style ever since. The lessons would have been a good idea. Now, my own family has some music, sort of. My mom was a singer, a soloist, mostly with the church. She'd sing around the house when we were kids. And she's quite a talented woman. My oldest sister learned to play the accordion. My next sister learned to play the ukulele. The sister and the brother next in line took guitar lessons for a little while until I think my sister had an accident at home and cut her arm, so she couldn't take guitar lessons, and I think that was the end of the lessons, although I can't say that for sure. The next sister down learned a little bit on accordion, and then came with me with my drum kit. So a little after that, I had a neighbor move in. He was building his house, and after he got so far on the house build, he had band gear there, so I took my drums over and we would jam away. He had no interest in the music that I liked, and I had really no interest in the music that he liked. But he was the guy. He was a hell of a guitar player, and he was the guy. He was about 40. I think I was about 13 or 14 at the time, and he'd literally say, hum a few bars and I'll fake it, and he meant it. He could actually pull it off, and we did some good jam stuff. It was really good. The only song I ever remember we agreed on was an old song. It was called Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road, and we played that. The little bit that I knew about playing the drums, we actually hammered it out, and it sounded pretty good. I kind of wish we'd have recorded that. It was his daughter, years later, a year or two after that used to swing by and give me a few pointers. She'd try her damnedest to try to teach me something, but I think, I probably, I'm on the spectrum somewhere as far as maybe dyslexia or something like that. I've always had a bit of a learning disability. So for her to try to teach me what she knew, and she was a properly trained percussionist, drummer, quite talented. So for her to try to get anything through my thick skull was going to be a little bit tricky. However, that information kind of sits in there and it soaks a while, and over time you kind of get to use some of it, but she never got to realize that I was picking up any of it at the time, just because I'll stumble on the wisdom a little bit later on when I figure out what she was actually meaning. My first real band experience was interesting. Yeah, I worked with the guys. Their drummer was away for a while, so I hadn't played myself in years, but I offered to sit in just until he could come back. Well, he came back, but he wasn't back for long, and then he had to go again. So it was like, okay, well, kind of landed ass first into my first opportunity with a band. Now it took a while and a long time and a lot of patience for the guys to really. I mean, they taught me an awful lot. They took the time. There was songs we were playing that I literally never heard. It was kind of cool that you'd hear the song playing on the radio. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, I played that song. Hey, and what do you know? I also played it right. So that's cool. Like I said previously, I never really learned how the drums are supposed to be played. I don't know how to read drum sheet music. What I do literally is play something that sounds like the song that I'm trying to play. So it's not going to ever be spot on. It's never going to be just exactly what I saw there. It's just going to be something close. And so over the years, I've gotten really good. But those guys have really sort of forced me to get way, way, way better than I ever thought I would. As I mentioned, we've come and gone over the years. We've taken some breaks. You do some different stuff. You get jamming with some other guys. You get playing open mic nights. You get, you even do a karaoke from time to time. The other musicians that you jam with, and you always get to learn something. You're not necessarily going to get paid in cash, but you will gain some knowledge through experience, and that is a wonderful thing. You can't put a price on that. I've had many opportunities to play with a variety of other musicians. So many styles. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's just brutal, but you learn something. I got a call to play a bachelor party years ago. The guitar player called me. We jammed together once, but it was years before. I had never met his harmonica player. We'd never seen a playlist, so I kind of found out in the afternoon that we were playing in the evening. So I brought my own bass player because I thought, well, it'd be nice to have one friendly face in the room. For as rough as it should have been, the harmonica player wrote all of their music. There was a few covers that were done, but most of it was original stuff. And I got to admit, it was really, really good music. It was fun to play. And the end of the night, I mean, we played some good stuff. It's unfortunate we never recorded any of it. That just wasn't going to happen back in those days. So, it was a positive experience all the way around. And there again, positive or negative is what it is. You walk away with some knowledge. Let's see. So you can learn a lot from playing with other musicians. You can even learn quite a lot just by going anywhere where there's live music. I can't think of anything that influences more than music on a day-to-day basis. It's in every stage of our lives. It's in every part of our lives. It's a constant companion. Whether you're singing in the car or you're a musician with a band, you're doing some karaoke nights, singing in the shower, whatever. We need to celebrate that music every day, and that's really how it should be done. So I'm going to take off, but thanks for listening. I would appreciate it if you want to drop me a note. It's the localrockstar@gmail.com. Feel free to shoot me a message. I'd really like to hear from you. So I'm going to just head backstage at the Cloud9 Bar and Grill, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you.